Good morning, Vogue. Vlog. My name is Lexi Prieto, and I am going to take you along on my everyday makeup routine using only drugstore products. This is not like any video that I've ever done before. I am normally a lifestyle vlogger type beat, but I just moved into the house in Virginia and I have this beautiful bathroom, and I thought what better way to christen it than with a vlog. And I love makeup. I do makeup pretty much every day. I love feeling confident in it, and I love makeup without the price tag. So I want to show you guys what I use to get my everyday makeup and how inexpensive they all are. First things first, I always start with my skincare because skincare is the beginning step of makeup. I already did it. I always wash my face morning and night with the Dermalogica Clear Start. It is the Breakout Clearing Foaming Wash. I use this every single day, so much so that it's actually like peeling off because I use it so much. I am acne prone. As you can see, we have some friends with us today. So I have been acne prone for a really long time in my life. I think the first time I got acne, I was probably around 12 or 13, and growing up with acne was definitely a very, very hard thing for me. I was definitely very insecure about it. And then, I learned to love it because I learned that it's my skin just reacting to me growing, and growing is such a gift. I also use this Good Molecules hyaluronic acid serum every morning. This is just a morning for me. I use it in the morning, and then I use something different at night. I have a much bigger routine at night. And then to prep my face for my morning makeup, I use two things. I use a bronzer drop and a SPF. This is La Roche-Posay's SPF 30 Double Repair Face Moisturizer. I love using it. La Roche-Posay is my favorite brand for moisturizer. And then I go in with our first drugstore product, which is the e.l.f. Skin Bronzing Drops. This is in the shade Pure Gold, so it's that light medium. It is this beautiful packaging. So that's the base that I already have on. Now that we have that out of the way, we are gonna start with brows, which is super easy because I don't do anything to my brows but brush them up. So let me show you what I brush them up with. This is the Kosas Air Brow Clear Lifting Treatment Gel. I have had this for so long. I have used this exact brow gel for, I'm not gonna lie, I would say probably 3 years. And I went with a spell of not brushing up my brows and filling them in instead, but I always feel more confident with my brows brushed up and no makeup on them than filling them in, because I think I have thicker brows already, and when I fill them in, they always just feel way too dark for me. So we are gonna go into our spot concealing. I use a shade that is a little bit too light for me to really clear the redness of those breakouts, but this is gonna be the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Medium Sand. This is the concealer that I use. It's a tad too light for me now. I bought it in the winter when it was perfect for me, but I'm just gonna go in and spot conceal all the little friends that we have today. I also have some scars because, if you are an acne girl and you don't pick at your skin, tell me your ways because I have no idea how to do it. But I definitely have a couple scars. I also go ahead and start the process of highlighting because this is a lighter concealer. So I start on my nose and the bridge and a little bit on the inner corners of my eyes because, spoiler alert, I have dark under eyes. I'm Italian. It's genetics. It's not because I don't get enough sleep, because trust me, I am sleeping. I'm just Italian, so it's just naturally dark. Now that you look absolutely insane, you have concealer all over your face, it is time to blend it out. So I just use this beauty blender that is so dirty and I just blend it all out. It is just a super simple step, but it is so efficient because I don't really use full coverage foundation ever. I normally use lighter coverage foundation. So doing this step before foundation is always super helpful to hide those little friends that we have on our face. I think that my makeup routine is the mascot for the phrase trust the process, because once you finish this concealer step, you're kind of gonna look a little bit crazy. I have no foundation on, so you can definitely still see the redness in my cheeks and my nose, so it just looks kind of insane. But here is where our lifesaver comes in. This is my favorite drugstore product. I have tried the product that it's duped from, and I had it for a year and it worked fantastically. And then I heard about this, the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. It is a sheen and sheer foundation. It is a skin tint most of all. It says glow booster for radiant skin. You can do this under foundation or you can use this as foundation. Normally I use this as foundation. I might add a little bit more because I'm filming today, but this is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood filter, I think it's called. And I bought that and I used it for a year. I fell in love with it, did not fall in love with the price tag. It is like $45 for a bottle this size. So I went online and I researched any dupes and I found this one, which is $12 to $15 depending where you live. And honestly, fell in love. It is my favorite foundation to use. It makes my skin so glowy and ready to go. And I love looking glowy on screen, so this is definitely a big step for me. So I'm just gonna go in. Look how beautiful this wand type is as well. I'm gonna go in, not do a ton, but just enough to definitely conceal and start this base layer for my makeup. So it really was only one insert and then I just blend it all out. And then we are gonna get the beauty blender again and really blend everything out to look smooth and perfect. I'm a big fan of the e.l.f. products. I think they do such an amazing job at, you know, making sure that it's good for your skin and inexpensive, good for your wallet, and also ensuring that it does exactly what it needs to do. The e.l.f. Camo Concealer that we used, it literally lasts me all day. I don't see my acne at all throughout the day, and it's so amazing. And then the same with this foundation that we're using right now. It is meant to glow and highlight your entire face and really just bring to life that morning glowy look, and I just absolutely love it. So now that we have that out of the way, I think actually we are gonna add one more step to our foundation before we get into the rest of the face. It is the NYX Bear With Me Blurring Foundation in the shade Soft Beige. Once again, another drugstore product that I just absolutely adore, and I don't do much at all. Just a tiny drop. That's literally as much as I do. It is a tiny drop, but it is exactly what I need to really bounce and blur my face and get it prepped for the rest of my makeup. Like, look at that already compared to this. Insane. Blurring to the gods. It looks amazing. And I'm not in any way a makeup guru. I'm not the best at makeup, but I do know what makes me feel confident and I know what makes me feel beautiful. And I feel like a nice blurring product to blur away all the imperfections is definitely something that I look for, and something that makes me in turn more confident throughout my day. The next step that we are gonna go in with before we start baking is gonna be the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. It's about the same shade as my foundation. I love a highlighted, you know, under eye and concealer, but that's what the beginning spot concealer was for. So now we're gonna blend it all together, get rid of these under eyes, and make it look really, really just blurred and similar. This is in the shade Perfect Beige. So we're gonna go in with that, not a ton. I go in the inner corners of my eye, and then swipe it out to the outer corners, and then I do just a nice little bit around my chin, and then I do it on my forehead as well. Next step is my personal favorite step because I love baking. I feel like it really snatches my face. I feel like it really brightens my under eyes. So I use, technically this is not a drugstore product, however, it's really inexpensive. It is the Morphe baking powder. It is in the shade Brightening Pink. It is the Bacon Set setting powder. It is my favorite thing. I don't use a ton. I grabbed a brand new sponge and I am gonna go in with the powder and just do a tiny bit under my eyes and maybe on the sides of my cheeks as well. And while that is sitting and baking, I am gonna start on my contour. Contour is my favorite part of makeup. I think it is just the best part. I think it really snatches your face. It makes me feel so confident and amazing. So we're gonna get into contour. I have 2 contour sticks that I use. So I think today I'm gonna use this one. It is completely worn off. It is the LA Colors Just Glow contour wands. LA Colors is like one of the most inexpensive brands that you can try. I think I got it at CVS, and as you can tell, I love it. It works so well. But if I don't use this, I always use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand contour stick. This is gonna be in the shade Medium Tan. So this is a little bit darker than I normally go. I have a shade lighter as well for my winter months, but we're gonna go in with the LA Colors, and it is just a beautiful little stick. It is a cream contour. I do the cheekbones, I do under the chin, and I do my forehead. So it glides on so easily. And then my secret weapon to making me look snatched, making me look glowy, is to do my nose as well. I kind of already have a button nose, so I like to accentuate that by contouring the button part of my nose. And then I think I'm gonna do a little bit on my eyes as well. So I'm gonna blend this out with a fluffy angled brush. Just blend it out as best as I can. Make it look really as natural as possible. Now that we have blended our contour out, it is time to get into another one of my favorite steps. It is blush time. I have always really loved blush. Even when I was a kid, I tried not to overdo it, and I grew up in the age where blush was not a thing. It was like contour, highlight, and that's it. But I love blush because I have a very round face. So blush just kind of accentuates that and makes it look really cutesy and adorable. So I go in with the e.l.f. Putty Blush, but it's this really rosy, almost orangey pink. It is super cute. I have definitely used the daylights out of this one, but I just put it at the end of the beauty blender, and I just start here at the middle of my cheeks, work my way up, and then whatever is left over, it goes on the balls of my cheeks. So it kind of lifts it more than it just is blush, blush, blush. And then my favorite part, because my nose is my favorite part of my face, I have to give it some love and add a tiny bit of blush to my nose. So I just do it right where I put that contour. I'm gonna do it slightly above that because we are gonna go in with some highlight in a second, and we want to really keep those highlighted places strictly for highlight. We're gonna go back in with the LA Colors stick. I'm pretty sure this was probably $5 and I have used it so much. I would definitely repurchase this. The reason I bought it was because they were out of my shade for the e.l.f. Halo Glow contour and I needed contour. So I just went to CVS and picked up whatever I saw, and this was it. And it's actually such an amazing product. So we are gonna highlight. As you know, as I was saying, I love a glowy, glowy, glowy look. So I highlight quite a bit, and this highlighter is really subtle once you blend it in. And I know this is kind of forbidden in the makeup world, but I blend it out with my fingers. So I just take my ring finger and blend it all out, make it look glowy and beautiful, get the brow bone as well, blend it all together and make it look super, super glowy and beautiful. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, you'd think that we would get into eyes, but we are actually gonna do everything all over again, but with powder. So we are gonna get, and don't judge me for how dirty this is. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna actually step back and show you because it's disgusting, and it's also so old, and I don't know if they even make this anymore, but this is the Tarteist Pro Glow Tarte palette. Don't look, okay? It is the oldest palette that I think I have. It is, once again, backing it up. Don't look. It's even, a pan is broken out of it. But it does have a really amazing bronzer shade that I like using that stays all day. So I'm gonna use that. I know makeup has expiration. I know, I'm sorry, but this is one of my favorite palettes. It also has all the highlighters that I adore. So I'm gonna go in with the bronzer, bronze it up, and then we are gonna get into my blush with the powder blush, which I'm so excited to show you guys. So I go in with my possible favorite product of my makeup routine. I love blush so much. And you know her, you love her. If you've watched any beauty guru ever, she's probably mentioned this. This is not a drugstore product, but it is my favorite product. It is the NARS blush in the shade Orgasm. It is this beautiful, beautiful, glowy, pinky look. This glowy, pinky, peachy look. And I do exactly what I did to the first round of blush. I do it higher up and into my hairline. I'm gonna go in with a little more powder highlight back in this dirty Tarteist palette. So sorry, nobody look at it, but now that we have that out of the way, we are gonna brush off the bank. And we are gonna get into eyes. Eyes is pretty much the most simple part in my makeup routine for my everyday makeup. I do glam eyes sometimes. I love doing it, but for the most part, I do really simple eyeshadow and very simple eye makeup. I actually don't even think I am gonna do anything too intense for the eyeshadow. I didn't think I was gonna do eyeshadow, but I think I'm gonna do just a tiny bit. Can you tell that I have not prepped for this? I was just gonna do my makeup anyways, and I was like, I should probably film it. But we are gonna go in with an equally dirty palette. It is the Morphe Artistry palette. And oh my God, I'm so sorry guys, this is gross. I'm also gonna back up when I show you. This palette has been with me for a very, very long time. Morphe, if you're watching this, I think I need a new one because I'm hitting pan on some of these, and I also broke a shadow. But we are gonna go in with this shade right here. It is this really cool tan shade that I've already hit pan on, and we're gonna get the inner corners of my eye and just get the inner part of my eye. That's it, that's all we need, the inner part of my eye. See, already my eyes look a lot brighter than they were when we started this video because, like I said, Italian, and Italian genetics mean dark eyes, anywhere you go. It is just it takes so much makeup to get rid of the dark circles under my eyes. The fact that you can still kind of see that. It used to be a really big insecurity of mine, and then I started falling in love with it because I realized that it's part of who I am, and there's nothing I can do to change that. No amount of makeup can change that. So I learned to love it instead, and now it's one of my favorite parts. Next, we are gonna go in with this shade right underneath it. It is a really cool, calm shade. We are just gonna blend out our eyes, just kind of give it that little bit of dimension. Nothing too crazy, but definitely kind of put the shape into my eyes a little bit more. And this is pretty much the end of the eyeshadow. There's really not much to do after you blend this out. We are gonna do my favorite part, but we're gonna do it after we do mascara, because this is the final part that I just love having my eyes pop. It's something that has to be at the very end of your eye routine. So that's the eyeshadow. Super cool, super calm. It is time to get into mascara. I use a curling wand, which I know people say you shouldn't, but whatever. And my favorite, my absolute favorite mascara ever, it is the Extensionist Telescopic Mascara by L'Oreal. This is their newer mascara that they have created for us. It is an insane lift. I will show you guys the before. You can see my eyelashes are straight. My eyelashes have no curl to them when I wake up. And then I will show you the after of putting this mascara on. Okay, let's take a quick look at the before and after of this mascara. This is the before. Obviously, my eyelashes are straight as can be, nowhere to be found. And this is the after. The volume that it adds is absolutely insane. Let me go ahead and do the other side, and then we are gonna get into my favorite part of the eyes and then lips. Okay, now that we have our mascara on, it is time to get into my favorite part of the eyes, and that is the inner corner glow. This is something that I think in my real life I am known for, because I don't go anywhere without this inner corner shine. I love it. I use two products. The first product that I use, another drugstore product, is the LA Girl Glide Gel Liner. This is the white eyeliner that I use, and I use it in the innermost corner of my eye. I put it right here, not a lot definitely goes a long way. And then I blend it into the first half of my waterline to definitely give it that doe-eyed popped look. And then I blend it out with this small eyeshadow brush. Blend, blend, blend. And then, because I'm insane and I can never just stop there, you would think, wow, her inner corners are so bright. I'm gonna make it brighter. We're gonna go back in with the Morphe palette, and we are gonna go into this lightest silvery shade. We are gonna blend this into our inner corner. We're gonna blend it all the way into our eyes, all the way in and all the way underneath, to give it that really popped look. This is definitely a favorite of mine when I'm shooting content. It definitely just makes my eyes pop. It makes me look more awake and more aware and just really there. And I definitely have noticed a difference from when I wear the inner corners versus when I don't, versus how awake and how asleep I look. So good news, we're almost done. Bad news, we have to spend 15 more minutes on our makeup, because we are gonna go in with the Sachu Lip Stain. This is in the shade Pinked. My favorite lip liner that I've ever used. It is a lip stain. It definitely matches my skin tone very well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, and I will see you in 15 minutes. I'm gonna do my hair while this is setting, and I will see you in in a minute. Okay, we're back. It has been about 10 to 15 minutes. I finished my hair. I just did this cute little half up, half down. Can you tell that I'm talking weird? My lip stain is on, but it is ready to be peeled off. So we are gonna give it a go. Hopefully you can do it in one try. There we have it. There is still some residue on my lips that I am gonna blend out. Now that we have the lips done, the very last step to my makeup routine is to add some gloss to these lips. So I'm gonna go in with the last drugstore product, also from e.l.f. It is the e.l.f. Glow Revival Oil. It is one of my favorites. This is in the shade Rose Envy, and we are just gonna really get that shine back into our lips. So thank you so much for watching this video. This is the end. I hope you enjoyed it. I will leave a link to the products that I used down below, and I'm excited. This was a great video. If you like more of this beauty content or chatty get ready with me's, let me know and I will definitely shoot some more. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Stay along for all of our journeys. I will see you next time. Bye!